Yeah, now it's time for Reese to hop on the motherfucking verse. Told you I wasn't gonna curse. Said I'm a liar, I put it in a hearse. I got to him first. Had to go spin on the block and I double it back in the V. Niggas be mad at me. And anyway, chat.
This is Charlene.
No, don't tell me about her. Show me about it. A female cop get caught seducing inmates. So she's a correctional officer and she be flirting with the men in the penitentiary because she like bad boys.
O'Banion, a prison officer being accused of sleeping with an inmate.
Knew it!
I was like soaking through my clothes.
After being accused of sleeping with an inmate.
You felt me, I was like soaking through my clothes.
On the shift, she was talking like that?
After hearing rumors from other officers that had seen her and Jason Parker together, an investigation was opened up. Charlene thinks she flew under the radar and got away, but what she doesn't know is that the detectives have all the evidence they need.
Was she calling him on a jail phone? Of course the audio is recorded. They tell you that when you answer on a collect call.
And they're about to expose and embarrass her in the most brutal way possible.
You got a live ass head game.
Most brutal way possible.
You got a live ass head game.
You got a lot of that head game? Who talks like that? That's why he in jail now. He a freak.
Oh my God.
Right from the start, Charlene plays innocent and pretends she doesn't know anything
You
about
got a
the
lot of that.
We're notified of a possible improper relationship between you and Jacob Parker. So we're here for that, and I just kind of want to talk to you about it and get your side of that story.
I don't know anything about it. I mean,
Oh my goodness.
Have you talked to him on any jail phone calls or anything like that?
no.
None at all?
Charlene is sure that this will work, but the detectives have much more evidence than they're letting on.
If they bring you in and ask you questions, they already know the answers to them. They just want to see how far you gonna lie about it.
And where would you think that this allegation would come from if there's nothing to it?
Well, I had a feeling this was coming. So there was an inmate named Coker, Justin Coker.
Okay.
He got out of here for I don't know what period of time. And he tried to contact me on Facebook. He sent me a message and I blocked him on Facebook. And I guess one time Parker was going back to Pequot to use the bathroom and he was talking like at the window with me. Mm-hmm. And I guess Coker like didn't like that, which I had no contact with him or anything. And Parker had told me that he had gone up to him and was like, don't talk to her or something crazy like that.
So I'm just
What?
trying to be rude here. I'm just.
Yeah.
Why would you expect this conversation to come up from that? Like now, if that happened a few months ago.
Charlene claims that the only time she's had contact with Jason was a single time outside the jail bathroom, and it was a jealous inmate that started the rumor. But the detective is about to share some evidence that instantly proves that Charlene is hiding something.
I don't know exactly how it started, like who it started from. But I was told that it was brought to somebody's attention, and then we looked at jail calls.
Yeah.
And there's jail calls between you and Parker.
Yeah.
And all that stuff's recorded. So I don't think you're being completely truthful. Well,
Goofy ass.
You're not. And I'm not trying to be rude when I say that.
Yeah, no.
I'm just kind of trying to lay it out on the table for you. Mm-hmm. So can you kind of tell me what's going on?
I wish they had it on video.
I guess a few years ago, we talked, and then I ended up here, and then he
Years ago? How long has this been going on?
ended up here. I didn't know he was here. I didn't, it wasn't anything like that.
Apparently, Charlene and Jason knew each other before prison and messed around before.
What'd she do?
She knew him before he got arrested. It just made it easier for him to be locked down with her.
They both ended up here. This led to them joking around with each other here, but nothing else.
No, I don't want them on video doing nothing inappropriate. I just want video evidence that them two are interacting. That's what I meant.
Or at least, that's what she claims. In reality, the cops have recorded phone calls from inside the prison that tell a completely different story.
God
So what
damn.
about some of these phone conversations?
No, not here or the phone. I thought.
No,
you were
I just
talking
mean
about phone.
conversations y'all are having on the phone.
Yeah.
No.
Since he's been in here.
Like sexual?
No, any at all.
I'm not saying having phone sex, talking about sexual acts. From what I'm listening to on the calls, I take it as that you've given him oral sex at some point.
Ooh!
No,
I gather from these calls.
No, that was like in the world, but we never dated. We just.
Okay. What kind of conversations have
So you just out here licking meat. See, we never dated. I just like to do that from time to time. What are you talking about? We never dated. That was out in the world. You be just doing that. She not making it even better for herself. She lying.
you had with him since you started working here and he's been in the jail?
Just talking about what would happen after he got out.
And then the jail call recordings, have you been talking to him like while you're at home? Like he calls you from the jail while you're at home, or?
You gave him your
Just
number?
15 minutes into this interrogation, Charlene's original story is seeming less and less like the truth. She's been caught in multiple lies, admitted to having sexual relations with Jason in the past, and calling him regularly from her own home. This is highly irregular behavior for a prison officer, and it doesn't take a genius to realize something deeper may be going on. But the detective has some more questions pertaining to some more physical evidence.
I haven't listened to this, but apparently there may be some talk in the calls about like photographs. Have you given him any photographs?
I gave him a photograph of his mom, which he had asked for, and of his dog, Jax.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you given him any photographs of you?
No, because...
So one of the things we're going to be doing is like looking at cameras and stuff too. Has there been any times where
No, she was on camera.
Or you go out of camera view or anything like that? Anything that's going to look suspicious that way?
I don't think so.
It's important to remember that Charlene has worked at this prison for a while now.
Okay.
And as such, will know all the ins and outs of everything such as security camera, blind
she
spots,
should.
and patrol officer schedules.
She should.
You'd think that with all this knowledge, it'd be easy to hide a relationship with an inmate. But it seems that she forgot about a few vital pieces of information. Not least the facts that all phone calls placed from the prison are recorded. But thanks to the detectives, she's about to be reminded of this fact in a devastating way.
Hey, baby.
Got that.
Baby, guess what?
What, babe?
I just won the blackjack game.
Yay.
I just won $30.
I got a lot of stuff to clean and get rid of before you come home. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm just fucking you. I was trying to make you think I have all these secret things.
Yeah, I bet you do.
What?
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 You want him to believe you're having an affair on him with a man that's free? Like, what are we doing?
What do you mean?
I don't know. You probably got this weird sex swing hanging from the ceiling. Kenneth probably thinks it's a swing set.
Oh, if I had that sex swing, you better believe I'd leave that sucker up for you.
Would you really?
Hell yeah.
They so freaky.
You let me put you in it?
Yeah.
With a gag ball and everything?
Oh, wow. Almost fell. Oh, my God. What is this conversation? He know all the details.
Listening to your own voice can be bad enough for some people, but listening to your own sexual phone calls in silence with two detectives in the room as you realize you've just been caught red-handed has got to be worse than any prison sentence there is. However, with the language they've used so far, there's no evidence that the pair have actually engaged in any sexual acts. But that changes quickly as Jason begins to directly incriminate Charlene on the call.
What
I
happened?
just want you to look at me sometimes and be like, damn, my woman's fine.
Fine as wine.
Mm-hmm.
And you got a live ass fucking head game. Oh my God.
It wasn't my best moments. I was just trying to get it done.
Meh, meh. Are you in bed?
Don't even get me thinking about that because it makes me so horny. Like just going back and thinking about that.
It gets you horny?
Oh yeah. You felt me. I was like soaking through my clothes. Get very horny very easy. I always want to have sex.
Good.
Like that's not even.
Not good.
I mean, it's not like I just like look at someone. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so fucking horny. No, like of course, like I only get horny for you.
You kind of see how that sounds from like my point of view. like a more recent thing than 3 years ago? No?
The audacity she has to say no after hearing that phone call is truly remarkable. But to her credit, she's not going down easily.
She is a freaky young lady. She not folding under pressure. She's standing 10 on her little freaky ass.
The detectives try asking her if she thinks Jason would cover for her, and she still doesn't break, sticking to her story that everything that happened outside of prison. Technically, this story could still be true with this phone call, but it definitely is odd for the couple to be recounting events from over 3 years ago in such detail, especially when earlier she struggled to remember any details about their relationship.
You talk about how profound this was. Like, just giving him this blowjob was.
Oh, wow.
Like, don't remember anything about it. It's like telling me something, but you're having trouble coming up with details about it. You know what I mean? Like, if it's that profound.
I mean, I gave him a blowjob. How do you describe the blowjob? I mean, is that
well,
what
I
you
don't want to know,
do?
like, about the blowjob. I mean,
This is so weird.
Yeah.
so if this is a
just said
factual thing that happened 3 years ago, I feel like you would kind of remember some stuff about it. Like, I feel
I
like,
mean, like we said in the car,
like when I asked you who was there, him, of course, like when y'all met or whatever, and then when I asked like who else, you said it was like a bunch of friends.
Yeah.
But like you can remember one
I mean, I
chick's
was with
name
my
after
friend
you
Chris.
think about it for 30 seconds. So
Yeah, I mean,
that's
I was-
not making sense to me.
You seem to have blanks in your memory when we get to certain details, but you remember being groped in the blowjob from 3 years ago. I find that hard to believe. Okay? This is your one chance to be honest with us.
Yeah.
Once we get up and walk out and we're done, we're done.
We're done.
Have y'all had any inappropriate contact, whether it's groping, blowjobs, vaginal, anal sex, anything, hand jobs? Yes, I am being vulgar to get a point across.
Yeah, no, it's not. None of that.
Just as the detectives say, things really aren't adding up. Yet she's still sticking to her story. Or at least she was.
They doing a bad job of interrogating her.
Before a switch flipped and she said this.
I mean, what is it?
I might have given him a blowjob in the back part of you.
In
Why
that
would-
part of decoy? Okay.
Why would you say that, man? You had him right where you wanted him. Even the guy on video was saying, well, we can't actually say if this happened recently or 3 years ago. Now you just openly admitted it. Them two goofies were just being freaky deaky. You know all these details about how you were licking meat, but you can't recall what was happening 2 days ago. I find it weird that you can remember something from 3 years ago. Hey, that just sticks out. And now she gonna admit that she was licking it.
I might have given him a blowjob.
Look at her.
In that part of decoy? Okay. How long ago was that?
I don't know, a few months ago.
The secret's out, and Charlene has confessed. But this matter is more complex than it may seem. In cases of officer-inmate relations, the main question that arises is the issue of consent. Given that Jason and Charlene knew each other prior to being in prison, it's not wrong to assume that consent went both ways in this interaction.
Yeah.
However, in these cases, that's actually completely irrelevant. According to a 2005 report, federal law criminalizes all sexual relations and contact between prison staff and inmates, and that all sexual relations between staff and inmates are considered abuse, even if the act would have been considered consensual if it occurred outside of a prison. This is because of the huge amount of inmate abuse that was observed in prisons. In 1996, it was estimated that between 12 and 14% of all prison inmates had been sexually assaulted, and the officers were rarely punished. So to prevent this, a zero-tolerance policy was introduced to try and prevent abuse towards inmates. A policy, it seems, that Charlene completely ignored.
I'm gonna ask, but I feel like I know the answer. I'm losing my job.
Your freaky ass should have thought about the job while you was licking him on clock. You wasn't worried about punching the clock. You was worried about sucking the... I ain't even gonna say the punchline because she was doing it. What are you doing worrying about your job now?
So that's not really...
You going to jail.
Internal Affairs is aware. Investigation is separate from ours because it's two totally different things. So
Yeah. What kind of charges?
Abuse.
So it's illegal to have sexual contact with an inmate as an employee. So
You going to
that's like the
jail.
ball kind of be in their court.
You
but
going
I'll let
to
you know as soon as I
jail.
hear something.
I mean, can I go to jail?
That's up to
You already here. Now you just gonna be wearing a different outfit with a different place to sleep.
the DA's office.
As it turns out, Charlene would lose her job, and the only time she'd ever be allowed back in jail would be for the 100 days that she'd be made to serve after being found guilty of sexual activity with a person in custody.
Ooh, got her ass. She want to be getting all freaky deaky. That's what you get.
This is
Talking about she was doing all that through her clothes and all that vivid, explicit on a jail call? Did her brain just fizzle out that voice that talked to you? We are now this phone call is being recorded and monitored. Like, does she ignore all of that? It's being recorded and monitored. Why would you not believe them? You think they lying? It's crazy that anyone in their right mind would think it's okay to have a woman guard at a men's prison. Yeah. She's not going down easily. Inmate, I beg to differ. She had one job and she blew it. Social media. Social media always trying to bring out comedians. There's always a comedian somewhere around the internet. Why? Why is there always comedians here? That makes no sense.